and we'd be talking, and I'd say to the general in charge, "General, the parents seem to be okay." And he'd say, "No, they're not, sir. They're not okay." I said, "General, I'm having a great conversation." And the mothers oftentimes would say, "Oh, my son was such a great football player. Sir, he had an arm that was so powerful. He was so strong. And he could throw a ball so far. He was such a good player," or other things. They tell me these stories about, they just were so in love with telling the stories about their son or their daughter. In some cases, their daughter. And then I'd look at the general and say, "Well, it's amazing the way they can handle it." And then the plane would come in and the general would say, "Sir, it's not going to be good." And that door would open up, that big back door, right? Would open up from this incredible, powerful machine that can lift up army tanks like it's nothing. And it would open up, and there'd be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 coffins. And I'd see the same people that were talking to me so jubilant about their child, how great the child was, would start screaming. Screams like I've never heard before. It was the most terrible thing to watch. And the general in charge would say, "Sir, you're going to see things that you maybe will not have seen." "Like what, General?" I said, "Mothers and wives and even fathers sometimes breaking through the military ranks and jumping on top of the coffin." And I got to see that one time where a mother was just, she went just absolutely, she was devastated. She jumped on, and these incredible, extremely fit soldiers are taking that coffin and would jump onto the coffin, and they would just keep walking. They wouldn't do a thing. They would just keep walking. And the mother was on the coffin, and this is for Afghanistan and for Iraq and for these other places where so many mistakes were made where we shouldn't be. And we can't do that. And we're moving them out. We're moving them back. 21 years, you've heard 19 years, but it's not 19. Now it's 21 years in Afghanistan. It's enough. And we haven't lost a soldier in Afghanistan since January of last year. We haven't lost a soldier. Not one single soldier has been lost. Pretty amazing. And Biden has already introduced legislation in Congress to take away your guns. Your guns are under siege. You do know that. I told you all these things. Again, nobody ever thought what is happening would happen. In Texas, I said, we're going to win. We won Texas by a lot. We won Texas by, but they were against oil, guns, and God. And then you'd listen to the fake news. It's going to be a very close race in Texas. It wasn't very close at all. Republicans must never waver in protecting the Second Amendment and keep and bear arms. And we have to have that power to keep and bear arms. If we don't, we will have a problem like nobody's ever seen before. But they want to take away your guns, and I said it before the election, and I say it after the election. The Biden administration has also issued regulations to indoctrinate America's school children with poisonous and divisive left-wing doctrines, such as critical race theory, and exact opposite of the American belief that we all are created equal in the holy image of God. We have a group of people, I don't know where they come from, but it's just as the state House of Representatives has done right here in North Carolina. Republicans at every level should move immediately to ban critical race theory in our schools. And we should ban it in workplaces, we should ban it in our states, and we should ban it in the federal government, and it should be done immediately. Should be done very quickly. Washington Democrats and send their child to the public, private, charter, or religious school of their choice. The Socialist Democrats' quest for whatever it is they're looking for, because nobody knows, I don't even think they know, truly knows no bounds. The slander that they cause, they slander our country, disparage our founding. As you know, the evidence is too voluminous to even mention. All you have to do is read the article in Time Magazine, cover story in Time Magazine. I'm not a big fan. I was on the cover a lot. Perhaps a record. A lot. I got to a point, you know, if I was ever on the cover, I was on the cover of Time Magazine before I did this political thing. And I read every word. I said, I wonder what that means. And it was actually a very good story. You know, I used to actually get good press. Can you believe it? I guess that's how I got to be president when you think about it. But I used to get great press. But Time Magazine did a story. They couldn't help themselves. They had to brag about what they did in November. They had to brag. And that story just goes 25% of the way. But if you take it a little bit further, you'll just read that and you see how corrupt. But that's the least of it. You look at what happened on that evening when the election was won. And all of a sudden, vast amounts of votes were taken in, just in certain states, swing states.
Yep.
Swing states, and I was leading by a lot. Then all of a sudden, something happened. It was a disgrace to our country, and if you think people don't see it, people see it. People have seen it. I think Biden is the dictator. If anybody knows who the hell is running that operation, can you let us know? Because I don't think it's Joe, but who the hell knows? Maybe it is.
It's Obama.
Maybe it is. And with all of the things currently going on, especially the prosecutorial misconduct that's going on at a level like nobody's seen for many, many years.
They're trying to wipe it clean.
That's all that's happening. And that's what they're doing. They want to silence you. They want to silence your voice. Remember, I am not the one trying to undermine American democracy. I'm the one that's trying to save it. Please remember that.
That's good. That's good. Best word to have.
And I can tell you China is extremely happy about it, and Russia is extremely happy about it. They're all very, very happy about it. Probably in order, I would say China, and then I would say Iran, and then I would say many countries. I could go through a list of them, but China is certainly happy, Iran is certainly happy. And think of it. If the bill passed by the House Democrats, H.R. 1, is ever signed into law, there will never be another fair election in our country. It can't get worse, but it would be almost as bad as the recent presidential election. To fully secure every future election, we must have photo ID, universal signature verification,
I say fingerprint.
citizenship confirmation, chain of custody integrity control, updated voter rolls for every election. You got to update those voter rolls, not people that have been dead for 9 years. Can't have illegal aliens allowed to vote. Strong protection of poll watchers. Our poll watchers are poor, poor poll watchers. What happened to them in Philadelphia? What happened to them in Detroit? Where they were literally thrown out of election for days. Jobs, lower taxes, and pro-American trade deals that result in more North Carolina workers forging more products, stamped with beautiful, beautiful phrases, but in particular, made in the USA, Mr. Furniture Manufacturer. We will shut down outsourcing, bring back our supply chains, crack down on trade cheaters and violators, and ensure that America, not China, dominates the future of the world. We will protect innocent lives. We will defend our glorious Constitution, and we will uphold
I really miss him.
Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. We will break up the big tech monopolies, reject left-wing cancel culture, restore free speech in America, and demand free, fair, and honest, transparent elections. We will strengthen our military, support our great police, and always take care of our amazing veterans. Do you know that we got a 92% approval rating with respect to the VA. They rated us 92% approval rating. It's never been anywhere even near that number. Very proud of that. And with the American pride that fills our souls, we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. Tomorrow marks the 77th anniversary of one of the most epic military triumphs in the history of the world, the Allied invasion of Normandy on D-Day. As we remember this incredible achievement, let us summon the spirit of generations of Americans before us who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for our beloved country. All of us in this room inherit the legacy of the selfless patriots who won the battle